Welcome back to another Alliance War video, everybody. We have 4 Loki versus New Nation. New Nation is a very good war alliance. They banned Titania, Hulk, and Silk. We expect them to die very few times, so tough war ahead of us. And I am joining a little bit later in the war. I was trying to decide on what team to bring, and it was between Kate and Spider-Gwen. And I was going to bring Wags for a Scorpion fight, but I decided to drop Wags and use Penny on attack because of this synergy right here, which is ultimately going to help the ramp on Spider-Gwen dramatically. I fought an unblockable Claire last war, and now I'm going to another fan favorite on the map, the unblockable Masochism node on Path 1. So the thought process was that once I get 5 Spidey charges, I can block or auto evade unblockable specials with Spider-Gwen, and that's how that's ultimately going to be safe in case I push that Dragon Man to an SB2. But first up, we have this Scorpion who has this regen node, and I just, I'm going to take Penny into that fight on attack. Actually, she's usually a defender, but I am going to use her on attack, and this node right here has Vigorous Assault, so when the defender has a regen buff, they basically will be unblockable, and has Masochism over time. So whenever you place a debuff, it's going to shrug it basically, and you need a tactic attacker for that. So you are always going to place a debuff with the withers and everything else. And then I have a Kindred that I'm taking, and a Korg that I'm going to take with APOC without cable, so just unramped APOC to stop him from shrugging on the node essentially. So first up, let's take a look at this Scorpion. And this Scorpion basically, what you want to look out for is his auto evade, and obviously then he's going to place a sting on you, which is a poison by default on defense. But Penny is immune to poison, so I don't get the sting, and if her shield is up, she will auto block it. So the plan here basically is to I'm using a power start 1 because I want to basically push him to just about a bar power and then power drain him, but I was going to get to an SB2, so I couldn't really do that. I think it's kind of a waste for a power start 1. There he auto evades me, but my shield protects me. And see right here, I want to drop my my SB2 basically to see what the damage was. The bad thing about the auto block is that it burned some of my Spidey charges, which really limited my power or my damage off that SB2. But now I'm just like, okay, I gotta play this regen. If it didn't do too much damage, then I don't want to let the regen kind of stack too much, and I'm just gonna slow play it really, and I'm going to spam some SB1s and then throw my my SB2. I have Resonate on, and that's really just to help with the next fight, and and obviously to spare if I place any debuffs, it'll do something. But right here I see that I have 15 charges, and I'm like, okay, there I miss a parry, but ultimately I'm okay, and I throw a striker into a heavy to get some spacing, and I want to try to push him to an SB2 ideally, instead of the SB1. But right here, I want to get a parry and then throw my my SB2, and that's all she wrote. So with about 12 Spidey charges, she does a really good damage. That fight was ultimately safe, but this is the fight where I kind of went back and forth on who to take. And I was talking to Karate Mike, who's used Spider-Gwen this season, and he was pushing for her. I ascended Kate. I was going to bring Kate into this, but I initially parried to remove the stun, even though he will go unblockable after. So you see the power gain's gone because I wanted to remove that and build my withers up, and then just kind of push him into the corner and beta heavy if possible. But there I get hit, then my evade triggers, and it just causes me basically get hit a bunch more, and I get a quick intercept. And here I'm surprised stun stuck, so I'm kind of slow to hit him, but I get my my SB1 off, which is what I wanted to do to get my Ineverate up, so I can basically hit him, and then he won't gain any combat power. The power gain will still trigger, but the Wither will help with that. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I can push him to an SB2, he's unblockable, and I can just auto evade it. But here, he loses the regen, and of course he triggers the unblockable, because when he touches me, he gets a wither, and I'm just like, great. But she's tanky, and I'm healing from that incinerate, and right here I throw my SB2, which I'm gonna, gives me enough power to actually get another one. I throw my striker into an SB2 to get a stun off of it, and then really end it if it didn't kill, but it did. Ultimately, a very safe fight. It may have looked a little more chaotic than it was, and it did feel that way in the first part, but I just kind of settled down and stopped trying to think too much through. It was my first time using Spider-Gwen in war or anywhere really, and so I was just kind of getting a feel for it, and you can kind of see that I'm much more relaxed in this fight, and obviously in this fight I can parry. This fight has a protection node that you need to knock him down to gain damage. So I really just want to get him in the corner, get those withers up just by contact. I'm really not worried about his bug face charges or whatever they're called, but they're a heavy to remove the protection. And then I'm going to throw my SB1 so I can get my my Spidey mode on, so I can basically neverate him here. And now he's not gaining power when I'm hitting him, and he's basically just kind of stuck in the corner. I'm going to use my SB1 again to knock him down, and just basically going to kind of melt him here. And I'm going to push at a certain point in the fight. I realized that I don't want to use any specials, because he's going to die from these basic hits, and I want my special to basically get out of the root right here. Here he throws that heavy, I dex it, bait another one, and the special 2 kills him. So super safe fight. I really did like Spider-Gwen, how she felt after those fights, and I get to use her in the next war as well. But the final fight of this war is this Korg, and I threw on mutant boosts. I don't know if I would use mutant boosts again. Not that they're a waste, but I'm not using Professor X much or at all this season, so threw them on. It is a 7-star Korg. So basically the plan here is to parry and then hit 4 lights, and that way I don't trigger his thorn damage. And I throw my SB1 right there to get that poison up, and I'm not triggering Dex, so he's not unblockable. He doesn't have any of his crowd excitement, so I throw heavy there while the shield is still down, so I can refresh that poison, and it's back to the light. Again, he throws that special 1 friendly, no crowd excitement yet, and it's just going to be a long, boring fight. I do a light into my special 1 to get the second weakness up, and I'm just at this point I'm just slowly triggering my my debuffs, and I should have parried heavied into that, but I used my striker to refresh everything, and he throws that SB2, still no crowd excitement, so I don't have to really dex any of his specials. He's not in danger of going unblockable. At this point, his shield is down. I throw my SB2, and you see that he's actually melting away. You see why it was a waste of a I get clipped by that SB2. I was so mad. It was a waste of those mutant boosts, because I threw 2 special 1s before I threw my special 2, and I didn't get any power back from them, so it's really not needed. And I'm just building up my debuffs really. I throw my striker again to go into my special 2 here to end the fight, and if not, just dex that SB1 at that point. But super safe fight. That was my war, and unfortunately we did lose this war 4-1. We only had 4 deaths, which is good as an alliance, but Newn absolutely smashed it, so GG's to them. They did an awesome job. Shout out to Karate Mike, Drew, and B McG on the MVPs, and hopefully we will get a win in the next war. See you guys there.